Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of our everything's working. I was making sure that. Welcome to another episode of our Dragon Age playthrough. We're on episode 5 currently, and we've got a lot of conversations to do today because we just entered camp for the first time, so there's a lot of discussion to be had, a lot of stories to learn, and then we'll see where we go from there. But yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of a slower start on this episode because we've got a lot of backstory to get through, and you know, that's the point of the Dragon Age games, so we're not gonna skip it. So right, Morrigan first with her stupid headpiece on.
What do you wish of me?
Okay, I'd like to discuss something personal.
We're in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any.
Why are you still here?
I am here because Flemeth commanded me to aid you. Why? Do you wish me to leave? I can do so if you prefer.
Damn. No, I don't want you to leave.
Then I assume our discussion ends here.
Okay, well. Oh no, oh no. Am I cheating? Yes. Am I cheating? Yes. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
What do you wish of me?
I'd like to ask you something.
If you must.
How did you become a shape changer?
I was not born such. 'Tis a skill of Flemeth's, taught over many years in the wilds. The chastened have tales of we witches, saying that we assume the forms of creatures to watch them from hiding. When a child is alone,
sorry, Morrigan, I
and
was
from his
too
tribe,
thirsty.
that is when we strike, dragging the young boy kicking and screaming to our lair to be devoured. A most amusing legend.
Okay, well that's a bit extreme. Your mother has been doing this for a long time then.
Changing her form, certainly. Devouring lost children, I cannot say. She has not done it in my experience, though in truth my lifespan is but a fraction of her own. Why do you ask? Is there something specific you wish to know?
Can you change into other human forms as well?
The form of an animal is different from my own. One may study the creature, learn to move as it does, think as it does. In time, this allows one to become as it is. I gain nothing by studying another human. I already am the same as they are. I learn nothing. So the answer is no, my human form is the only one I possess.
Shit. Can anyone become a shape changer?
Anyone with sufficient will. But the act of transformation is a magical one. 'Tis a spell and thus requires a mage's talents. If you had a notion to learn such a skill for yourself, sadly, you must remain disappointed.
Rude. Do you spend a lot of time as an animal?
There were nights when the wilds called to me, 'tis true. You look upon the world around you and you think you know it well. I have smelled it as a wolf, listened as a cat, prowled shadows that you never dreamed existed. But my life is as a human. I am under no illusions to the contrary.
And what do animals think of you when you're changed?
They do not shy away from me. To their senses, I believe I seem like any other of their species. As to what they think, I truly cannot say. Just as I am still human, no matter my form, they are still animals. Thus they cannot speak, even were I to ask.
There have been Daedalus keepers who've used similar magic.
Oh? Then I have no doubt your people do much to keep their talents well hidden from humans. I wonder if I was to ask one of your keepers of the origin of their magics, if there would be any relation to what I was taught.
I doubt, that would be intriguing, wouldn't it?
I may even ask my mother about it someday, though I doubt she would tell the truth of it even so. Such is her way.
That's all I want to ask.
Indeed. Have you an opinion on my abilities, then? Am I an unnatural abomination to be put to the torch?
I think your abilities sound quite useful. Oh my gosh, number 3, maybe tied to a flagpole and tickled.
I wouldn't advise it. But enough of such talk, let us proceed.
I had to click that one to see how it goes. Is she going to disapprove? No, she approves +2. It's better than nothing. Morrigan.
What do you wish of me?
Is there anything else I can ask her?
If you must.
Did you grow up in the Kolkari Wilds?
Why do you ask me such questions? I do not probe you for pointless information, do I?
You can probe me anytime.
Beg pardon then while I jump for joy.
Ah!
What is it you asked if I grew up in the wilds? A curious question. Where else would you picture me? For many years it was simply Flemeth and I. The wilds and its creatures were more real to me than Flemeth's tales of the world of man. In time I grew curious. I left the wilds to explore what lay beyond, never for long. Brief forays into a civilized wilderness.
Concrete jungle, etc., etc. I have a hard time picturing that. But you kept going back to the wilds.
Would you not do the same? Your world is an unforgiving and cold place. The wilds I hail from is home to me, and I a natural denizen. For all that I had been taught, however, the truth of the civilized lands proved to be overwhelming. I was unfamiliar with so much. So confident and bold was I, yet there was much that Flemeth could never have prepared me for.
Very daring, that sounds like you.
Equal parts daring and foolhardy, perhaps.
We're gonna laugh.
Only once was I accused of being a witch of the wilds, and that by a chastened who happened to be travelling with a merchant caravan. He pointed and gasped, and began shouting in his strange language, and most assumed he was casting some curse upon me. I acted the terrified girl, and naturally, he was arrested.
Brilliant.
Men are always willing to believe two things about a woman. One, that she is weak, and two, that she finds him attractive. I played the weakling and battered my eyelashes at the captain of the guard. Child's play.
Fucking
the
hell,
point
Morrigan.
being that I was able to move through human lands fairly easily. Whatever humans think a witch of the wild looks like, 'tis not I. Not that I did not have trouble. There are things about human society which have always puzzled me, such as the touching. Why all the touching for a simple greeting?
She's not wrong, though, is she? I have no idea. I'm not human.
Do not speak to me of trivialities. Your culture is not so entirely different. There were many nuances that Flemeth could never tell me of. When to look into another's eyes. How to eat at a table. How to bargain without offending. None of these things I knew.
It all
I
went
still do
poorly.
not understand it all, truth be told, but then I gave up long ago any hope of doing so. When I returned to the wilds last, I swore to Flemeth that I had no intention of leaving again.
Did you? Well, I'm glad it worked out this way, at least.
Yes? Let's ignore the entire Darkspawn phrase in the presence of a simpleton as your only other Grey Warden ally, then. Not that I lack appreciation for the intent of your comment. Thank you. Well, let's get on with it before the ground opens up and swallows us, yes?
That's so real. 8. Right, okay. There was another conversation in there.
Yes.
So life in the wilds must have been very lonely.
At times, perhaps. A world full of people and buildings and things was all very foreign to me. If I wished companionship, I ran with the wolves and flew with the birds. If I spoke, 'twas to the trees.
That sounds wonderful.
For a time. But one can only remain a child for so long.
What do you mean?
I recall the
Rude.
first time I crept beyond the edge of the wilds. I did so in animal form, remaining in the shadows and watching these strange townsfolk from afar. I happened upon a noblewoman by her carriage, adorned in sparkling garments, the likes of which I had never
Didn't she
before
steal
seen.
something?
I was dazzled. This, to me, seemed what true wealth and beauty must be. I snuck up behind her and stole a hand mirror
that's
from
right.
the carriage. It was encrusted in gold and crystalline gemstones, and I hugged it to my chest with delight as I sped back to the wilds.
What happened then?
Flemeth was furious with me. I was a child and had not yet come into my full power, and I had risked discovery for the sake of a pretty bauble.
I mean, you're not
To
wrong.
teach me a lesson, Flemeth took the mirror and smashed it upon the ground. I was heartbroken.
But you were just a child.
And a foolish one. Flemeth was right to break me of my fascination.
Was
Beauty
she-
and love
was she
are
though?
fleeting and have no meaning. Survival has meaning. Power has meaning. Without those lessons, I would not be here today, as difficult as they might have been.
But you don't need to live that way any longer. They made you stronger, didn't they? Those are harsh lessons to teach a child.
Perhaps, but they were necessary still. To return to your original question, perhaps my time in the wilds was indeed lonely, but such was how it had to be. I find myself at times wondering what might have become of the girl with the beautiful golden mirror, but such fantasies have no place amidst reality.
Okay, it proves 5. There's definitely another conversation in there. Where's my mouse? There it is.
Yes?
I'd like to just ask you something.
If you must.
Have you ever been hunted by the Chantry?
You are very cute to ask so many questions.
And you are cute when you're evasive.
Really? Perhaps we should be wrapped in ribbons and adorned with flowers. So cute are we, too. My mother has been hunted from time to time, yes, by Templar fools like Alistair, which should tell you how successful they generally were. Flemeth made a bit of a game of it, in fact. The Templars would come again, and she would look at me and smile and say that the fun was to begin once more.
Oh my gosh. I feel sorry for the Templars.
They came with as much swagger and arrogance as they did self-righteousness. Pity them if you wish, for they held none for us. Flemeth would warn them once. 'Twas a warning they inevitably failed to heed. And then the true game began. Often Flemeth would use me as bait. A little girl to scream and run and lure the Templars deeper into the wilds and to their doom.
Did you actually kill them all?
Me? No, I never did any of the killing until later.
Until later,
and
fucking
even
hell.
then, Flemeth was a glutton for that sort of thing. Thankfully, the wilds is a vast place. Once they found us, Flemeth would simply move us elsewhere, and we would be lost within the forest once again. I did not understand the danger we faced until I was much older. I had never heard of apostates or maleficarum.
Don't you regret hurting all those men at all? What exactly is an apostate? Do you still think that was fun? They got what they deserved. Don't you regret hunting any of those men at all?
Would they have regretted hurting me? I was a young child. Yet do you think they would not have gleefully held my head aloft as a trophy? There are no trials for apostates, no prisons, no mercy. There are only absolutes, so only survival matters. If the wilds have taught me anything, 'tis this. First, you must survive. Do you disagree?
Absolutely, there are worse things than death.
Oh? I would ask what exactly, but I'm certain that would be a lengthy conversation, and suddenly I grow very weary. Enough of this talk. Let us return to the task at hand.
I feel like I've lost David with her there. 11. I just lost everything I gained with her. Shit. We're not gonna fake it. We're not gonna fake it.
If
I was
you
tempted
must.
to go back and change things, but we're not gonna do that.
Well, that depends, does it not? What does she seem to be?
Human.
Oh, she certainly was human. Once. Tell me, how much do you know of the tale? The one that the chastened still tell of my mother, to frighten them into obedience.
I didn't even know there was such a thing.
Ah, I see. That does explain much. I can relay what Flemeth once told me herself, and you can decide whether or not 'tis the truth, if you desire.
Of course I desire. That sounds
As the
interesting.
tale is sung by the bards, there was a time when Flemeth was young and beautiful, a fair lass in a land of barbarian men, the desire of any who saw her.
Yeah, I've heard
The
this part.
tales say that Flemeth fell in love with Osen the bard, and fled the castle of her husband, the dread Lord Conabar, and that he swore vengeance for her infidelity. In truth, my mother claims that 'twas Osen who was her husband, and Conabar the jealous lord who looked on from afar. Lord Conabar approached young Osen and offered him wealth and power in exchange for his lovely wife, and Osen agreed.
Oh, damn. He sold his wife to another man? Flemeth must have been angry.
The life of a bard is a poor one, and love fades in the wake of hunger. 'Twas Flemeth who suggested the arrangement. All would have been well had Lord Conobar kept his end of the bargain. But he was a foul man who bargained with coin he did not possess.
Yikes.
Osen was led off to a field and slain, left for dead. Flemeth spoke to the spirits and learned of the deed, and swore revenge.
So she truly loved Orson then?
That was not the point. Conobar had no honor, so she would not have him. Flemeth begged the spirits to aid her, and 'twas they who slew Conobar. The demon the legend tells of came later. Lord Conobar's allies chased Flemeth, you see. Chased her to the wilds, and there she hid. There she found the demon, and he made her strong. The legends all speak of the great hero Cormac, he who defeated Flemeth and her great army when she invaded the lowlands centuries later. All lies.
Okay. Which she never invaded, or he never defeated her?
The truth of the matter is that there was never an invasion. As Flemeth tells it, the Chastened never raised an army under her banner, and she never fought with any warrior named Cormac. Cormac led a brutal civil war against his own people, and later claimed it was to vanquish evil that had taken root amongst the lords. Thus, he was hailed a hero. Flemeth was only attached to the legend much later. Perhaps 'twas due to the great war with the Chastened that eventually came, but Mother claims not to know how it began.
You believe her
I do
version?
not believe everything that Flemeth claims. Oft it seems her bitterness has colored her memories. But on the whole, yes, I believe this tale, if not all.
How is that? Did the Flemeth survive for so long?
The demon within her has transformed her into something else. An abomination, perhaps some would say. I know not. I only know my mother is clever, and she is part of the wilds as it is part of her. But she is no immortal. She bleeds. A blade in her heart would kill her like any other,
Morgan.
were it lucky enough to find her.
The legend tells of Flemeth having many daughters.
You ask if I have sisters. I have asked of this myself. The stories tell of many witches of the wilds after all, not just the one. And these tales existed long before I did. Flemeth refuses to speak of other daughters, if they existed. So, should I believe I am her first? I doubt that too.
Why would she refuse to speak of them?
The Chastened tell of a falling out between Flemeth and her daughters. They say that one day she hunted them all through the wilds and ate their hearts. It may be true. I have never seen another witch or heard of one. Perhaps one day Flemeth will eat my heart as well.
Normal. Aren't abominations usually insane horrors?
How often is this usually? Always? If not always, then when is it not true? There are more things in this world and the next than you or I could ever hope to understand. What Flemeth became is a mystery.
I feel like I'm going to lose
even to
approval
her.
again. Interesting story, thank you.
Flemeth tells it with far more embellishment than I, but you are welcome. Dare I ask of your own mother? Few are abominations of legend, 'tis true, but I find myself curious nevertheless.
My mother died a long time ago. There's nothing really to say about her. I love her. What else do you want to know? Keep your curiosity to yourself.
Ah, then you have my sympathies for what it is worth. Which is very little, I am certain. It matters not. Let us move on.
I've got an approval of 5, so I think we're done.
Yes?
1 second.
We are in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any.
Excuse me?
Discuss away.
Right, okay.
Yes?
I'm gonna try it. Seems a bit soon, but
We are in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any. What's this? 'Tis a rather odd discussion you seem to desire, leaning in so closely.
do you object?
Not unless you stop.
Already? Well. Brilliant. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah, cool. But the music can calm down now. calm down music. 20 minutes in, what do we achieve? A Morrigan case.
Why are we stopping?
Why are we stopping? Well, Sten, it's this thing called nighttime. We're working together. I think I should get to know you.
There are Darkspawn to be fought. Is this delay needful?
I need to know if I can trust you at my back.
I am Kunari. I have given my word to aid you. We are not people of idle promises.
I've never seen a Kunari before. Tell me about your people.
No.
No? Why not?
People are not simple. They cannot be summarized for easy reference in the manner of... The elves are a lithe, pointy-eared people who excel at poverty.
Fucking hell, little hostile, aren't we?
Many humans have said that to me. I do not understand it. If I were indeed hostile, you would be bleeding.
Fucking hell. This is you being calm and helpful?
Couldn't you tell?
Said you were in the army.
I am.
You ever fought in a war?
I have always fought in war, elf.
What do you mean by that?
My people have been at war since the moment we set foot in the Northern Islands.
So the Kunari don't come from the islands?
We do now.
Where did you come from before?
Somewhere else.
Can you be more specific?
No. I was born in Seheron. Of the land we came from, I know nothing, not even its name. I do not see how this matters. Seheron and Parvolan are distant. Ferelden and the Darkspawn are immediate.
Okay, are you alright? You're in the cage for weeks.
You are concerned. No need. I am fit enough to fight.
Should we get moving?
As you wish.
Somehow I gained approval throughout that entire conversation. Brilliant. Hello, Leliana.
Yes?
Rude. I'd like to talk.
Well, here I am.
This vision of yours.
I knew this would come up sooner or later. I don't know how to explain, but I had a dream. In it, there was an impenetrable darkness. It was so dense, so real. And there was a noise, a terrible, ungodly noise. I stood on a peak and watched as the darkness consumed everything. And when the storm swallowed the last of the sun's light, I fell. And the darkness drew me in.
Foreboding. What then?
When I woke, I went to the Chantry's gardens, as I always do. But that day, the rosebush in the corner had flowered. Everyone knew that bush was dead. It was grey and twisted and gnarled, the ugliest thing you ever saw. But there it was, a single beautiful rose. It was as though the Maker stretched out his hand to say, even in the midst of this darkness, there is hope and beauty. Have faith.
And this made you want to help me?
In my dream, I fell. Or maybe I jumped. I'd do anything to stop the blight. I know that we can do it. There are so many good things in the Maker's world.
I don't like it.
How can I sit by while the blight devours everything?
The Chantry says the Maker has left us. The blight is the Maker's punishment. Will you defy him? I suppose I couldn't sit by either.
That is why you're a Grey Warden. Come, there's a blight to stop.
Liliana, I think we have a lot more conversations to have, though. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I'm running away.
Yes?
I'd like to talk.
Well, here I am.
What was life like in the Chantry cloister?
Quiet. It was a life suited for contemplation. In the cloister, away from the fuss and the flurry of the cities, I found peace. And in that stillness, I could hear the Maker. But it was not perfect. Some of my Chantry fellows were condescending. That is the nature of religious folk, I suppose.
Damn. Just say it as it is. Yes, they tend to be self-righteous.
When I talked about my beliefs, that the Maker reveals himself in the beauty of his world, they treated me with disdain.
Why?
They want to believe that he's gone, so that when he turns his gaze on them, it means they are special, chosen. He cannot possibly have love for all, the sick and the weary, the beggars and the fools.
Okay. I don't really want the Maker looking in on me anyway.
Maybe I am wrong. But it is the Maker's place to decide if I am worthy, not men, not the Chantry. But there is work to be done, and I have
I
talked
feel like I'm getting
enough for
disapproval for this one. Oh, I got nothing for that one.
Yes?
Okay. I'd like to talk.
Here I am.
What would someone like you be doing in Lothering's Chantry?
What is meant by someone like me?
You just don't seem to belong at a cloister, you know, a beautiful charming woman like yourself, sanctimonious preacher like all the other chantry zealots. They don't teach you how to fight in the cloister, do they?
Did you think I was always a cloistered sister? The chantry provides succor and safe harbor to all who seek it. I chose to stay and become affirmed.
Wrong, 1 second. There we go. I keep doing that way. There we go. What did you do before that?
I was a traveling minstrel in Orlais. Tales and songs were my life. I performed, and they rewarded me with applause and coin. And my skill in battle? Well, you pick up different skills when you travel, yes? Yes, of course. Let's move on.
I don't even think I'm getting approval with her here.
Well, here I am.
You're a traveling minstrel? You have tales to share?
Of course I do. I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be able to benefit from them, I think.
Okay. Tell me about Darkspawn.
Chantry law says it is man's pride that created the Darkspawn. In ages past, the mages of the Tevinder Imperium ruled much of the world we know. In their pride, they thought their magics invincible and imagined that they were greater than the Maker himself. So thinking, they invaded his golden city, planning to take it for themselves and depose their own creator. But they were impure and full of sin. And it is with the sin that they tainted the golden city, corrupting it forever. The Maker cursed them and cast them from his sight. Wherever they went, they spread the taint of their sin. Any land that was touched by the taint became blighted and would suffer no life. Instead, the Darkspawn arose to torment us and remind us of our hubris.
Know any stories from Orlais?
Of course, Orlesians enjoy telling stories. I shall tell you my favorite tale of Aveline, the Knight of Orlais.
Okay. That sounds interesting.
A long time ago, a girl child was born to a farmer. He had hoped for a son, not a daughter, and so he told his wife to abandon the child in the woods. Before the cold could claim her, the baby was found by a tribe of Dalish elves who took pity on the poor mewling thing and raised her as their own. Aveline, for that is what they called her, grew strong and quick and clever under the guidance of the elves. She learned to wield the sword as well as any man, could kill a deer with an arrow at 100 paces, and was as graceful on the back of a horse as she was on foot.
Okay. Continue, please.
Aveline's Dalish guardians saw that she could easily best any Orlesian chevalier in battle, and wanted to show the cruel humans the child they had left to die. They bestowed upon her a fine horse and armor, and sent her to prove herself to her people in the grand tourney. Now in those days, no woman was allowed to take up arms, let alone compete in the grand tourney, but Aveline kept her helmet on and was not discovered.
Wow. So did you win the tourney?
Aveline won many events and gained the approval of the adoring crowd. Eventually, she came face to face with the knight Kaleva in the grand melee. Aveline had already bested him in the joust, and Kaleva was determined not to lose a second time. Out of desperation to regain his honor, Kaleva tripped Aveline and tossed her to the ground, ripping off her helmet as he did so. Silence fell upon the arena as Aveline was revealed. Kaleva declared the previous competitions invalid. A woman had taken part, and this was not allowed. But the crowd cheered for Aveline. Kaleva was furious, for he had lost to a woman and was now being shamed. Blinded by his rage, he forced Aveline to her knees. "Know your place, woman," cried he, and slit her throat.
Fucking hell, I don't remember it ended like that. That's terrible.
The son of the king, Prince Freyan, was present. He recognized Aveline's skill and bravery and began to see the injustice done to the women in his land. When he was made king, he rewrote the laws of Orlais so that women could also become chevalier. He honored Aveline and knighted her after her death. And to this day, any female who is knighted reveres Aveline the Brave, for she is the patron of all women chevalier.
Do you know any Ferelden legends?
I know one, told to me by my mother a long time ago. It always chilled me to the bone. Maybe you have heard of Flemeth?
Flemeth? Morrigan's mother was called Flemeth.
Are you sure? Was she the Flemeth of legend? Flemeth, the devourer of men? Flemeth, mother of witches? Flemeth, demon-touched, who dwells in the mists?
It's a long title. They probably just have the same name.
I suppose that's possible. But why would one adopt the name of a feared abomination? Ferelden mothers scare their daughters with talk of Flemeth. They say that if you're bad, Flemeth will spirit you away and bind you to her forever. They also say that Flemeth mourns her lost beauty and will steal yours through your looking glass if she catches you.
Wow. Tell me the whole story.
Flemeth's beauty was known throughout the land. She had hair like unto a moonless night, skin as pale as winter's first snow, and eyes as beautiful and perilous as the sea. When she came of age, she came to the attention of the Lord of Highever, Conobar, and he took her for his wife. Conobar soon learned that his young bride had the gift of magic. He kept this a secret, for he feared that she would be taken from him. Flemeth stayed with Conobar for some years, and with his blessing, she practiced her art. And then one day, a young poet named Osen came to the castle. Flemeth was captivated by Osen's voice.
I love how we're hearing the actual, like
they fell in love.
story version after the actual version, so to speak. Oh, the plot thickens.
Flemeth longed to be with her true love, and she and Osen fled from Conobar's lands, seeking refuge in the Kokari wilds with the Chasing tribes. They lived there happily for many a year, till the day Flemeth received news that Conobar was dying and longed to see her face one last time. Flemeth's heart swelled with pity for the man who once was her husband, and begged Osen to return to Conobar's side with her.
Yeah, because this isn't a
But
trap.
when Flemeth and Osen entered Highever, they were captured by Conobar's men, and Osen was slain in front of Flemeth's eyes. Flemeth was imprisoned in the highest tower of the castle, there to await Conobar's judgment on her. Distraught at the loss of her love, Flemeth plotted revenge against her husband. She summoned a fey demon, intending for it to wreak vengeance on Conobar. But a spell went awry. The demon possessed Flemeth. Turning her into an abomination, the halls of the castle ran red with blood as Flemeth slaughtered Conobar and all his men. The last of Flemeth's humanity melted away, and at dawn, she stole back to the wilds to plot and scheme for 100 years. They say she took to her side many Chasing men, and with their help, begat her daughter witches, who even now prowl the dark places of the Kokari wilds.
There was another story I wanted to know.
Which one?
Do you know anything about the Dalish?
I know little about your people, but I may be misinformed, and I would hate to offend you.
This is why we must learn about each other.
I have heard a little about how the elves gained their freedom from the Tevinter Imperium. When Andraste began her exalted march against the Imperium, the elves joined her cause to fight their masters. The great elven leader, Shatan, born in captivity, rose up to lead his people. He foresaw a future where the elves were free. Shatan was killed when Andraste was betrayed, but the elves continued to fight, eventually breaking free of the Imperium.
Yeah,
the elves
elves.
claimed the Dales in the south and settled there in a land of their own.
But the humans had to take that from us too.
The elves lived in the Dales for centuries. They resurrected the worship of the elven gods and would allow the building of no chantry. This angered the chantry, and the hostility between the two factions finally broke out in open war. The chantry says the elves struck first, but I do not know whether to believe it. The chantry declared a wholly exalted march against the elves, named for Andraste's similar march against Tevinter. During the exalted march of the Dales, the elven cities were sacked, and the elven state completely dissolved. Some of the elves bitterly accepted their fates and surrendered to human rule, living in the human cities as second-class citizens.
Yeah.
But others,
Fun.
still fiercely proud of their heritage, refused to bow to the humans, and instead became homeless wanderers.
Look at how
They were
aimless
the
Alistair
elves
looks
of
in the
Dales,
background.
The Dalish.
What do you know about Andraste?
Andraste was the Maker's chosen. The Maker had long since abandoned the world when the sound of her singing turned his ear. Beauty, grace, and wisdom enraptured him, and he offered to take her from this flawed world to become his divine bride. But Andraste had an earthly husband and would not forsake him. Instead, she beseeched the Maker to return to his people once more. So earnest was her plea that the Maker was moved, and promised that he would create a paradise on earth if all abandoned their false gods and turned once more to him. And this is why Andraste began her exalted march on the idolaters of the Tevinter Imperium. The Maker granted her his powers with which to smite her enemies. Andraste brought
Smiting,
the
etc.
Imperium to its knees, and her victories converted many to the worship of the Maker.
How did Andraste die?
Alas, it was the frailties of men that betrayed and killed Andraste. Her earthly husband, Maferath, a chieftain of the Alamari tribes himself, grew jealous as his wife's popularity and influence overshadowed his own. She was also revered as the Maker's betrothed, and Maferath began to see their own bond waning in significance as Andraste became ever more devoted to the Maker. Out of envy and spite, Maferath made a pact with the Archon Hysarian of Tevinter, allowing his beloved Andraste to be ambushed and captured.
Damn.
Andraste was burned at the stake in Minrathous, the capital of Tevinter.
But Tevinter has a chantry, doesn't it?
The Tevinter chantry claims that in Andraste's last moments, Hysarian's heart softened, and he heard the voice of the Maker telling him to end her suffering. He plunged his sword into her heart, and as her blood washed over his hands, he became one of the faithful. Dissenters said that the Archon only converted because he could not stem the tide of Andraste's cult, and was forced to do so to stay in power. We will never know for sure.
Okay. Let's move on. Thanks, Liliana. Right, okay. Got Alistair to talk to.
What do you need?
What do I need? Just chat.
Ask away.
Can you teach others to be a Templar?
Suppose I could, but I really would rather not. When the Grand Cleric let Duncan recruit me, she made me swear never to reveal Templar secrets outside of the Chantry. I'd rather not go back on my word.
Okay. Very well. I
Ask
respect
me
your
later,
word.
perhaps. Maybe I'll change my mind. This is not something small you're asking, after all.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you need?
I'd like to ask you
away.
something. Tell me about the Grey Wardens.
Such as they are.
Where are the nearest Grey Wardens from here?
That's a good question. There's plenty in Orlais, but who knows where they might be found. And the nearest Orlesian city is weeks away. If we go north and cross the sea, there's bound to be some in the Free Marches. Again, however, I just don't know where. I don't know anything about Grey Wardens in other lands.
Is there a headquarters somewhere?
Here in Ferelden, there's our compound in Denerim at the palace, but that's it. Loghain will have control over that and be watching it, no doubt.
Yeah, you're not
Beyond
wrong.
that, the only place I know of is Weishaupt Fortress. That's the headquarters of all Grey Wardens in the Anderfelds, 1,000 miles from here. But I've no idea how to even contact them. So unless we try to get back to the compound in Denerim, I suppose the answer is no. There's nowhere for us to go.
Love that. So what happens now? There's just the two of us.
I imagine that eventually the Grey Wardens outside of Ferelden will wonder what's happened. Why there's no contact from Duncan or someone. They'll send someone eventually. Though who knows what Loghain's people in Denerim will tell them. Maybe they won't send anyone. We could try to contact them. But that would mean leaving Ferelden, and even if we did, they couldn't come back with us in time to stop the Blight. So that means whatever happens, it's up to us.
It's up to us. Okay. Well, we need to start rebuilding the order.
I mean, eventually we would have to use the joining to make more Grey Wardens, right? But I don't know how to do the joining, or what's involved. I know it involves lyrium and some other magic, and that it's really difficult to prepare, but that's it. Unless we can find out more about the joining, I guess we better get used to the idea that there might only be 2 of us for now. Until more come from elsewhere.
What would happen if we just left? Well, let's not ask that one.
About the Grey Wardens, anyhow. Fair enough. What do you need?
I'd like to ask you something. So how did you become a Grey Warden?
Same way you did. You drink some blood, you choke on it, and pass out. You haven't forgotten already, have you?
Fuck off, Alistair. I mean, before that.
Let's see. I was in the Chantry before. I trained for many years to become a Templar, in fact. That's where I learned most of my skills.
You don't seem like the religious sort.
You're telling me I was banished to the kitchens to scour the pots more times than I can count. And that's a lot. I can count pretty high. The Grand Cleric didn't want to let me go. Duncan was forced to conscript me, actually, and was she ever furious when he did. I thought she was going to have us both arrested. I was lucky.
You think Duncan took pity on you?
I don't know. Maybe. When he came looking for recruits, I just remember praying fervently to the Maker that he would pick me.
Maker must have
I'll
heard.
always be thankful to Duncan for recruiting me. If it hadn't been for him, you know, I wouldn't have.
I'm sorry.
No, it's... I'm sorry. I shouldn't be... It's fine. He died a hero. They all did. Come on, let's go. I think I'm done talking.
But are you? Because I might have more things to say to you.
What do you need?
I'd ask you something. You said this Arliam raised you.
Did I say that? I meant that dogs raised me. Giant slobbering dogs from the Anderfels. A whole pack of them, in fact.
That's not what I remember you telling Plymouth.
Well, if you're going to go and pay attention to the facts, then fine. Let's see, how do I explain this? I'm a bastard. And before you make any smart comments, I mean the fatherless kind. My mother was a serving girl in Redcliffe Castle who died when I was very young. Arleman wasn't my father, but he took me in anyhow and put a roof over my head. He was good to me, and he didn't have to be. I respect the man, and I don't blame him anymore for sending me off to the Chantry once I was old enough.
Why did he send you off to the Chantry?
Arleman eventually married a young woman from Orlais, which caused all sorts of problems between him and the king because it was so soon after the war. But he loved her. Anyhow, then you, Arlessa, resented the rumors which pegged me as his bastard. They weren't true, but of course they existed. The Arl didn't care, but she did. So off I was packed to the nearest monastery at age 10, just as well. The Arlessa made sure the castle wasn't a home to me by that point. She despised me.
Yay, you were probably luckier than most orphans.
I suppose you're right. I wasn't raised as the Arl's son, though, if you're picturing that. I slept in hay, out in the stables, not on silk sheets. I remember I had an amulet with Andraste's holy symbol on it. The only thing I had of my mother's. I was so furious at being sent away, I tore it off and threw it at the wall and it shattered.
Well, that was silly, wasn't it, Alistair?
Stupid thing to do.
Yeah.
The Arl came by the monastery a few times to see how I was, but I was stubborn. I hated it there, and blamed him for everything. And eventually, he just stopped coming.
I'll have to take a second because my hand is dying. It's hurting. What happens? Stop playing games so much, folks. This is what happens. You start hurting. You start dying. Oh. Are you sure he isn't your father?
Yes, I'm quite sure. At any rate, I don't look anything like him. You'll see for yourself. Not that it stopped the rumors any. All I know is that the Arl is a good man and well loved by the people. He also was King Caelan's uncle, so he has a personal motivation to see Loghain pay for what he did. Anyway, that's really all there is to the story.
Okay, I think we're doing okay. Right, that's Sten, that's Liliana, that's Morrigan, Alistair. Where's the dog? There we go.
Oh, why, you little...
Did you just jump at the sight of your own shadow again?
Oh, you're so funny. Such rapier wit. Your furry friend here took offense at me getting near his food. He snapped at me. Look.
There's hardly any blood drawn that he shouldn't have.
Sometimes I forget that he's a war dog. That'll teach me.
Love him.
I once heard a really old legend about how the Hound warriors in the days of the old tribes would feed their Mabari the flesh of the vanquished.
Yeah. He's hungry.
Well, that's what I heard anyway. It would sometimes be human flesh.
Oh, he's not for it.
Oh, like you can tell the difference. For all you know, maybe you've already been fed something. Someone.
Oh, leave him alone. I'd never feed you another human being.
It's not cannibalism if he's eating it, you know.
Look at what your fool dog placed in my pack. A putrid, half-eaten hare is not something a woman wants to find in her unmentionables.
Brilliant. Not the first piece of dialogue. I'm going for it just for the meme.
Maybe, but that is not the point. The dirty mongrel can have this back. There. And tell him not to do it again.
You heard the lady.
I don't want it, you worthless furbag.
Morgan. I think you hurt his feelings.
Oh, he's just trying to be manipulative, I can tell. I do it too.
Fucking brilliant. Oh, I love it. And they're growling with each other. Perfect. Watch. I forgot I called the dog John. Watch Stan and John. Oh. Watch Stan and John.
A true warrior and worthy of
Brilliant.
respect.
Oh, trying to find a way through the earth, are we? It's going to take some time, you know. Well, good luck with that then. John ignores you and keeps digging. I love that the dog's fucking called John. Is that it with him? Pet John. Fucking John the dog. Brilliant. Okay, well, that's that. I think our party and venture forth.
Indeed.
Indeed.
To be fair,
Of all the
maybe we go with...
Blast and damnation.
Let's try Sten
Yes.
for a change. You know what? I've never actually took Sten with me much. I feel like I don't need two rogues.
Yes.
Could probably do with something a little bit more hardy, so... Well, actually, you know what? That's another thing we can do. Sten. In the... Probably needs, like, literally, you know, anything. I've literally given him nothing. Do you have anything for the dog? I don't think we do. Oh. Or paint with a wolfhound. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Onward. Finally. 50 minutes later, we're actually playing the game.
Indeed.
Yes.
Let's just go with Sten for a little bit. We don't have to take him.
Yes.
We'll see. I keep him, what I say. Right, so we can go to a million different places now. Redcliffe Village, we can go to... We've already beaten Lothering. The Bristolian outskirts. Oh my gosh. So many places to go to now. Let's go to Red Cliff first. Oh wait. Let's go to Red Cliff first, and then because that's like, you know, it's the next experience of the game, isn't it? And then after that, we'll start branching out into these like DLC little parts at some point. Yeah. Okay. What we'll do. Red Cliff.
Look, can we talk for a moment? I need to tell you something. I should probably have told you earlier.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this conversation. I'm not going to like this, am I?
I don't know. I doubt it. I've never liked it, that's for sure. I told you before how Al Eamon raised me, right? That my mother was a serving girl at the castle and he took me in. The reason he did that was because, well, because my father was King Marek, which made Kaelin my half-brother, I suppose.
Yeah. What, you didn't think you might have told me this before?
How? When would I say that?
I mean, I just asked you all
Oh,
this.
by the way, King Marek had sex with a servant and she produced a bastard son. That's me. I would have told you, but it never really meant anything to me. I was inconvenient, a possible threat to Kaelin's rule, and so they kept me secret. I'd never talked about it to anyone.
Yeah.
Everyone who knew either resented me for it or they coddled me. Even Duncan kept me out of the fighting because of it. I didn't want you to know as long as possible. I'm sorry.
Okay. Does Logan know?
Why wouldn't he? He was King Marek's best friend. I don't know if that means anything, though. I certainly never considered the idea that it might ever be important. At any rate, that's it. That's what I had to tell you. I thought you should know about it.
Are you sure you're not hiding anything else?
Besides my unholy love of fine cheeses and a minor obsession with my hair, no, that's it. Just the prince thing.
I should be calling you Prince Alistair.
No!
Yeah.
Maker's breath. Just hearing that gives me a heart attack. It's not true, anyhow. I'm the son of a commoner. It was always made clear that the throne is not in my future. And that's fine by me. No, if there's an heir to be found, it's Al Eamon himself. He's not of royal blood, but he is Kaelin's uncle, and more importantly, very popular with the people. Though, if he's really as sick as we've heard... Oh no, I don't want to think about that. I really don't. So there you have it. Now can we move on? And I'll just pretend you still think I'm some nobody who was too lucky to die with the rest of the Grey Wardens.
Yeah. Okay, Alistair. As you command, my prince.
Oh, lovely. I'm going to regret this. Somehow I just know it.
Yeah. Dude's off. Dude's like, nah. I'm out of here. And we're out of there. Okay.
I thought I saw travelers coming down the road, though I scarcely believed it. Have you come to help us?
With what? I'm on important business. I need to see Al Eamon.
The Arl? Then you don't know. Has nobody out there heard?
What are you talking about? Heard what?
We're under attack. Monsters come out of the castle every night and attack us until dawn. Everyone's been fighting and dying.
Apparently everyone seems to agree that a blight is the perfect time to start killing each other. Marvelous, really.
No army
Okay,
to
now
defend
Morrigan.
us. No Arl and no king to send us help. So many are dead. And those left are terrified they're next.
Hold on, what is this evil that's attacking you?
I don't rightly know. I'm sorry, nobody does. I should take you to Ban Tegan. He's all that's holding us together. He'll want to see you.
Ban Tegan, Al Eamon's brother. He's here.
Yes. It's not far, if you'll come with me.
I suppose so. Guess we have no choice. What a party. What a group.
It's Thomas, yes? And who are these people with you? They are obviously not simple travelers.
No, my lord. They just arrived, and I thought you would want to see them.
Well done, Thomas. Greetings, friends. My name is Tegan, Ban of Rainersphere, brother to the Arl.
I remember you, Ban Tegan, though the last time we met, I was a lot younger and covered in mud.
Covered in mud? Alistair? It is you, isn't it? You're alive! This is wonderful news.
I think this
Still
voice.
alive, yes.
I think Ban
Not
Tegan
for
is the
long
guy.
if Ten Loghain has
I need to
anything
look this
say
up.
about it.
1 second.
Indeed.
1 second. Ban Tegan, voice actor. Okay. Urianger Orgerelt, voice actor. No. Interesting. It sounded very similar. Oh no, wait 1 second. No, yeah, okay, yeah, it's right, okay. Yeah, so not in the base game, not in Realm Reborn, but from 1 second. Voice actor, so in the base game it's Gideon Emery, but in Heaven's Ward onwards it's Timothy Watson. So it is the same guy. So the guy who plays Ban Tegan plays Urianger, and in 14 the voice just sounded so familiar. I was like, I need to know. Indeed, Loghain would have us believe all Grey Wardens died along with my nephew, amongst other things. You don't believe Logan's lies?
He pulled his men in order to save them? That Kaelan risked everything in the name of glory? Hardly. Loghain calls the Grey Wardens traitors, murderers of the king. I don't believe it. It is an act of a desperate man. So you are a Grey Warden as well. A pleasure to meet you. I wish it were under better circumstances. You're here to see my brother? Unfortunately, that might be a problem. Eamon is gravely ill.
Yeah, we've heard about that.
No one has heard from the castle in days. No guards patrol the walls, and no one has responded to my shouts. The attack started a few nights ago. Evil things surged from the castle. We drove them back, but many perished during the assault.
Can't wait for this. Can't wait. What evil things are you talking about?
Some call them the Walking Dead. Decomposing corpses, returning to life with a hunger for human flesh. They hit again the next night.
They're not
Each
Darkspawn,
night
or
they
this
come with
place,
greater
though, right?
numbers.
I'm pretty sure.
With Kaelan dead and Loghain starting a war over the throne, no one responds to my urgent calls for help. I have a feeling tonight's assault will be the worst yet. Alistair, I hate to ask, but I desperately need the help of you and your friends.
It isn't just up to me. Though the Grey Wardens don't stand much chance against Loghain without Arl Eamon.
Of course we'll help.
There are no Darkspawn here, and nothing to gain. It is a fool's errand.
If there's a chance to rescue that Arl, we have to try.
Perhaps.
How pointless to help these villagers fight an impossible battle.
Does everyone want to
We
comment?
had enough to contend with elsewhere.
Thank you. Thank you. This means more to me than you can guess. Thomas, please tell Murdoch what transpired. Then return to your post.
Yes, my lord.
Now then, there is much to do before night falls. I put 2 men in charge of the defense outside. Murdoch, the village mayor, is outside the chantry. Sir Perth, one of Eamon's knights, is just up the cliff at the windmill, watching the castle. You
Okay.
may discuss with them the preparations for the coming battle.
Sure. I want to discuss the situation with you, though.
Of course.
You have some of Arl Eamon's knights here?
I have those few who returned from their quest. You know of this, yes?
Their search for the urn of sacred ashes.
Yes, I question Isolde's decision to send so many knights in search of this relic. But I am a practical man, whereas she is a woman of great faith. Sir Perth was one of the knights sent on this quest. Perhaps you should speak to him if you wish to learn more.
Okay. Why are you in the chantry with the villagers?
Sir Perth insists. He wants me to be with the villagers, so everyone he needs to protect is in one place. I don't mind, to be honest. The point of all this is to protect the villagers, and I can do that best here. This is the last line of defense, should things go amiss.
You need more men in here with you?
We could bring some men in to stand beside me, but I'd rather keep the monsters away from the villagers if possible.
What exactly are these things that attack the
I
village?
do not know. They seem to be walking corpses, men with rotting flesh that continue to attack even with the gravest injuries.
Undead, spirits possessing the dead. There could be several causes behind such a thing, none of them pleasant.
Yeah, I know that, Morrigan. So what happens after this battle is over?
Hopefully we can find the source and stop it before it causes any more damage. With luck, we'll also find Eamon and be able to help him.
I should go back to work.
Very well. Luck be with you, my friend.
Saving game. Okay, right. Have a little
Let us
gander on
pray.
here first.
You are of elven blood and a stranger, yet you defend a home that is not your own. We are grateful for that.
Is there a reason I shouldn't help?
Many elves claim we wouldn't do the same in return. I would like to think that is not true, but I cannot speak for all. Allow me to introduce myself. I am revered Mother Hannah, head of this chantry, which for the moment is a place of
A lot of
refuge for these
chantries that are
poor
refuges, funnily
They
enough.
are terrified of tonight's attack, and I fear these walls will not keep them safe. What can I do to help with your task?
I would like your blessings,
You would?
Mother.
That is, I mean, of course. I'd be happy to. Blessed art thou who exists in the Maker's sight. Blessed art thou who seeks his forgiveness.
All of these
Blessed
people are
art
just thinking,
thou
what
who
the fuck?
seeks his return. Blessed is the prophetess, his daughter, sacrificed to the holy flame. May the chant reach the Maker's ears and tell him of our contrition.
She literally just turned away, wow. Morrigan disapproves, Stan approves. Damn.
What is it you need, child? May the Maker watch over you, child. Yes? If you must.
Oh, right, okay. Just seeing if there's anything like, you know, can't believe you did that type thing. Jetta.
You're a Grey Warden, right? Were you in Ostagar? In the Korkari Wilds?
Oh,
My
wait.
husband and son went there to bring the chant of light to the chastened. But I haven't heard from them since.
Are you Jetta?
I am. You've heard of me?
Just a hunch.
I'm sorry to burden
Take
you with
care.
my mourning. May her be with you.
Soon, darling.
You're a Grey Warden, right?
Do you want to have the stuff for
My
that?
husband and son went
Did I
there
not?
to bring the chant.
I want to go home.
I must have
Where's
not picked up the stuff for it.
Father?
Yeah, no.
Why
I must
can't
have not
we
picked
go
them up.
home? I already told you. Father is outside defending the village from the bad men. We must stay here and be brave.
Renia.
Good day.
Hello.
I guess so.
Okay,
so
and a
scared,
quest from
Father.
Caitlin.
What are we going to do? Am I bothering you? I'll try to be more quiet.
Who are you?
My name's Caitlin, my lord. Pardon my manners, but you're an elf, aren't you? I mean, that is what you are, right?
Is that a problem?
No, I just heard you were a Grey Warden, and I never thought. I'm sorry.
Fucking
Are you going to
hell,
help us?
she's a mess.
Everyone says we're going to die tonight.
Help? Yes,
I
I'll do my
can't even
best.
sleep. I close my eyes, and I see my mother being carried off. What
Oh.
have we done that the Maker allows this to continue?
Well. So you're worried about your mother?
I'm not worried about her. She's dead. I wish it wasn't so, but it is. It's my brother Bevin. He ran off, maybe tried to
Bevin.
leave the village. I'm so scared those things got him.
Why would he run off? Do you
He
know?
said something about saving Mother. He's just a little boy. He doesn't understand she's gone.
And you're just stood
If he
here?
has foolishly run off, then he is no doubt dead. You should get used to that fact.
Nice. Maybe you want to kick her in the head while you're at it.
Shall we comfort her?
Fuck
with
me.
lies? If she is to face death, better she face it honestly.
I hope he didn't try to go to the castle. Oh, that would be awful.
We tried looking
I
for your
went to
brother?
our house. It's by the square. He wasn't there. I searched the rest of the village too. I called and I called, but he never answered. I wonder if he ran off into the woods. I'm so worried. Without me, he has nobody.
Well, if he's dead, it doesn't really matter, but anyway, what would you give to find him? You need to be strong, girl. Don't worry, I'll look for him.
You will? Thank you so much. Please find him.
Silence, girl. Do you want the children to hear you?
But night is coming.
Is that going into my journal now? Child. Mother was dragged off by the creatures from the castle. Okay.
I hope you know what you're doing.
No, we don't have the men we need. And
Still
their
no
numbers
sign of
just
them
keep
coming back from the castle, Murdoch.
Tell them to maintain watch. I don't want a surprise attack.
Have a little gander around. Little mooch around.
I am led to understand that the Canary have their own mages as well. Is this so?
You would not understand.
Not understand? Is it mental capacity that you believe I lack? Or are you worried I will sympathize with my so-called brethren?
Take your pick.
Is that supposed to make me angry?
It means I find myself wishing that your people held proper, civilized attitudes towards magic.
That is a rather hostile thing to say.
And yet you continue speaking. Astonishing.
Go away.
Well,
Curse you. Leave me in peace. You've already taken everything out of my stores. There's nothing left.
nothing left for me here. Open this door, I break it down. I haven't taken anything at all, you're mistaken.
You're not Murdoch. Who are you and what are you doing at my door?
I prefer not to speak through a door. Can I come in?
All right. Let me undo the locks. All I ask is that you don't make any trouble.
What was that fucking shrug?
Somebody's been drinking.
So I let you in. You wanted to talk. Now we're talking. Mind telling me who you are?
My name is Theron, a Grey Warden helping Ban Tegan.
A Grey Warden, is it? It takes all kinds.
What do you mean by that?
Funny, you
Rude.
didn't sound like an elf through the door. Can't say I expected that.
Didn't
Anyhow,
sound like an elf.
my name's Owen. though
Never
you
mind the
might
Kunari
already
stood
know
beside
that.
me.
Care to join me as I get besotted? Or is there something in particular you wanted?
Why haven't you locked yourself in the smithy?
My girl, Valena. Is one of the Alessa's maids and she's trapped up there in the castle, but the mayor won't send anyone for her.
Well, he can't right now,
She's
can
been
he?
my life since my wife passed on 2 years ago. Now she's dead, or soon to be. I don't care what happens to me or the village or anyone.
You're doing that again. There we go. Do you intend to drink yourself to death?
Why not? It's not like we're going to live past the night anyhow. Or are you going to save us?
I intend to try.
Is that so? Maybe it's the drink talking, but you almost sound like you believe that. It'd do me the world of good to think maybe someone like you could go in and find her. Provided any of us live through the night.
I'll do my best.
Not good enough. Murdoch said the same damn thing, and I didn't believe him either.
You
Okay,
are
well.
asking a great deal, you wretched little man.
Do you know why I agree with her
What a
this time?
promise. Promise me that you'll look for her. That you'll bring her back to me if you can.
I promise you I'll
I'll
find
accept
her.
that. It's something to hope for, at least.
Oh, lovely. Shall we next begin rescuing kittens from trees?
Is this a promise we will not keep?
Let's hope not.
What's this?
I said nothing to you, human.
And I suppose there's no point in me sitting around, is there? Time to relight the forge and get the smithy going, eh? Murdoch will be pleased.
I feel like
If
this
you
is
need
part of this
anything
quest that
done,
Murdoch's going to give
well,
me that I've just jumped
just
ahead
let me
of.
know. I've got a lot to do now, so you'll have to excuse me.
Oopsie. Morgan disapproves, Sten disapproves. Oh my god, is everyone disapproving of everything I'm going to do? Can't help being a hero.
On it.
Let's go here.
Should be easy enough.
For the house. Insufficient skill? What do you mean, insufficient skill? Rude.
Yes? What can I do for you? Very well.
For now. Okay. Well, that was anticlimactic.
Why are you here?
Excuse me?
Obviously you are no priestess, but shouldn't you be running a shop or a farm somewhere rather than fighting?
You think to tell me my place, Kunari? You are very brave.
It is not done.
But it is done. Do not be such a blind fool.
I speak the truth. It is not I who is blind.
Okay, now.
Look around you then. You see women throughout this land, fighters and mages both.
That has yet to be proven.
Which, that they fight? Or that they are female?
Either.
So I am not truly a woman to you, hmm? 'Tis good to know.
Damn. They're getting all philosophical with it.
Defensible.
On it.
I feel like I'm jumping the gun here. Let's speak to Sir Perth
Greetings,
while we're
Grey
up here.
Warden. I am as relieved as Ban Tegan is to see you here. I must admit, I do not know how to address an elf in your position. I do not wish to be rude.
I'm just a normal person. Call me a Grey Warden, for that's what I am.
Grey Warden it is, then, and thank you kindly. I am Sir Perth, until recently in direct service of Arl Eamon of Redcliffe. For now, my charge is defending the village from these evil assaults. Would that I had chosen not to seek out the Urn of Sacred Ashes. Perhaps I would have fended off whatever evil befell the castle, or perhaps I would be dead. Ah, well,
normal.
With the Grey Warden aiding our defense, perhaps all is not lost.
Is there anything I can do to help?
We have sufficient armor and weapons, but my knights are too few to stand against the monsters without assistance. Perhaps you could approach Mother Hannah in the Chantry for some holy protection against these evil creatures. Otherwise, I do not know what else you could provide beyond your own talents. We're as prepared for the onslaught as we could possibly be, all things considered.
Is there anything else you
No,
need?
nothing comes to mind. If you have not spoken to the Mayor, Murdoch, you should. His militia is far more in need of aid than we are.
Okay. Where do I find Murdoch?
Back in the village, of course, in front of the Chantry.
Okay, I had some questions for you.
Ask me whatever you wish.
Where can I get supplies?
I'm not sure. Murdoch mentioned a blacksmith in the village, but I believe the militia is using everything he had. Beyond that, you might try the village store. It's locked up, but there may be items of use still within. I do not know.
Okay. What about the tavern?
Ugh. A fellow named Lloyd runs it. He refuses to close and evacuate to the Chantry. I suppose he might still have something to sell you, though I wouldn't encourage dealing with a fool. He's a profiteer and nothing more.
Okay. You mentioned something about an urn.
When the Isle fell sick, we were at a loss. Nothing worked to cure him, and he just kept getting worse. Finally, our lesser Isolde came up with a plan. The Urn of Sacred Ashes is a legendary artifact said to hold great healing powers. If found, it might save him.
They say the followers of Andraste smuggled her ashes out of Tevinter and hid them in Ferelden. The urn's never been heard of since.
We knights volunteered to seek it out. Few of us have returned. Many are still out there, unaware of what is happening here.
Devastating. What are we going to do? Why did the Arlessa believe anyone could find again?
The Jarl once employed a scholar, Brother Genetivi. He had proof the urn was in Ferelden, or so I was told.
So what was the Jarl sick with?
We were never certain. He thirsted for water and then grew weaker and weaker. He brought in a mage, but even that did nothing. The Arlessa believed he was cursed and that we needed the power of Andraste herself, or he would surely perish.
Can no one find the other knights and bring them back?
Eventually, perhaps. The ones I have here were those near enough to recall within the last few days. I only returned myself because I was passing by Redcliffe and heard the news of strange attacks.
The knights left the castle defenseless?
Not at all. A great number of soldiers remained in Castle Redcliffe. I wonder if they perished there and were transformed into these things. The thought chills my blood.
Okay, I want to discuss something else.
As you wish.
What is your status?
Although we are far better equipped than Murdoch and his villagers, we knights are too few. Things will be grim after sundown. Overall, my fellow knights are nervous about the coming battle. Death is almost certain, but we will fight and die valiantly if that's what the Maker demands.
Okay, carry on.
As you wish, Grey Warden. Maker watch over you.
Whew. That's a lot. Okay. Where's the tavern then? Is it? Going around? Yeah, this must be. Bella.
Another doomed soul come to drown their sorrows here, I see. If you came here for a drink, you'll have to talk to Lloyd. He's got a vice grip on the spigots. I'm just here to keep the boys from mutiny.
Yeah. Do you know about that elf in the corner?
Not much. He's very quiet. Says his name's Beric and he's here to meet his brother, but I think he's lying. He's a bit creepy.
So how has business been?
What business? Without the castle soldiers, the only customers we have are local. And they're all in the militia with no money to spend. The few with any money are here, but it's not enough to justify working. Lloyd's a greasy pig. And if I didn't need this job so badly,
Nice. A pretty girl like you should be able to do better. You don't care for Lloyd, I take it?
He gropes me and pays me next to nothing. But I suppose it could be worse. Not like I've got many options.
I could talk to Lloyd about this.
No, that'll just make things worse. And that's very sweet, but I'll be fine.
How about a raise then?
I'd like that. And maybe we could talk after the battle tonight. If we're still here, that is.
Shouldn't you be at the chantry?
Later on, yes. Lloyd will lock himself in the cellar, and I'll go to the chantry. Are you fighting tonight?
Yes, I am.
That's good to hear. I didn't know that.
Good go.
Keep safe.
Hello, Lloyd.
Hello there, friend. Can't say we've ever met before. Stranger to the village, I take it. Haven't had many travelers lately. All this nonsense is bad for business. Bet you regret coming, yes?
What do you mean?
Oh, you know, evil creatures, impending doom, civil war, and the Jarl's dead in the castle. Makes you thirsty, don't it? So, what'll it be? You are here to drink, I hope.
Gosh. Who are you anyway?
Name's Lloyd. We don't get many elves out here. You're run away from the city.
Fucking hell. I'm Dalish if you must know.
That's so. I've heard about them. Never seen one in my entire life, though. Something else I can get for you?
Answer a few questions.
Fine. Make them quick.
Shouldn't you be helping defend the village?
Why? When them creatures attack, I lock myself in the cellar. Just batten the hatches and wait it out. What's the point in getting myself killed with all the rest of them? If that makes me a coward, then I'm a coward.
It makes you a coward. Either die fighting the militia or die now, your choice. Wow. Then be a coward if that's what you want.
Well, yes. I suppose that is what I want.
What do you know about what's happened here?
Not a lot. Castle guards stopped coming in about a week back. It's unusual, too. They were my main source of business. After a few days, I thought it strange enough to ask. But nobody heard anything. Anyone going up to the castle didn't come back. When the first attack hit, I locked myself in the cellar. I say we just wait for help to come.
Why are you still open?
I'm not abandoning my tavern because of a few monsters. The second I'm in the chantry, Murdoch and his men will be here drinking all my ale.
What do you know? What do you know about the elf in the corner?
Not much. Says his name's Berwick. Arrived here more than a week back. Waiting for his brother, he says. I've never seen him before, but he paid good for his room. Quiet sort.
Oh, yeah. Interesting. I should go.
Right then.
Right, let's talk to Beric.
Not looking for company.
Strange seeing a fellow elf here.
We have nothing in common. You're Dalish.
We're both elves, aren't we?
I'm not here to talk. Just leave me to drink, alright? I just want to be left alone.
Okay.
I said I'm not looking for company.
Shouldn't you be with the militia?
Why? I don't live here.
And why? What are you doing here?
Just waiting until I can leave again.
Okay, fine. Fuck you then, Barry.
I can't believe Lloyd won't even give us some free ale. A time like this, and all he thinks about is turning a profit.
Did you expect any different? That bastard's always been cheaper than an Antivan Hall.
Here we are defending the village, and he don't even have the decency to help us out.
It's ale, but maybe you should help defend. Maybe he should help defend the village instead. Better you should be drunk for.
I was drunk for the last 2 fights, and I wouldn't have it any other way. If you fought those things, you'd know.
Lloyd is charging us for coin we don't even got anymore. Nobody's working right now. We're all just trying to survive.
Aren't we all?
What difference does it
Isn't that
make?
what working is though as well?
Won't
So.
care.
Okay, right, cool. Back room. Anything in here worth stealing? Nope. Okay. Try and go out the back. Okay, right. Well, that's that.
So you're the Grey Warden, are you?
Yes, that's me.
I heard they all died with the king.
Wrong. I'm not. You heard wrong.
So you say? A damn Qunari could walk up and say he was a Grey Warden. I wouldn't know the difference.
That much is clear.
We aren't gonna turn aside anyone who wants to help, though. Don't take me for being an ingrate or nothing.
Well, we do want to help however we can. You can trust us.
Name's Murdoch, mayor of what's left of the village, providing we aren't all killed and hauled off to the castle tonight.
Have faith, good man. We will defeat this evil together.
I hope you're right. I've been trying to hold us together, but it isn't easy. Anyhow, you're here, and they tell me
changed
you're
voice
in
for that.
charge.
What can I do to help?
The men were short on decent armor and weapons for a while, but Owen, the blacksmith, has started repairing our equipment. Stubborn fool was refusing to talk to anyone only this morning. You didn't have anything to do with his change of heart, did you?
I did actually.
Maybe we'll make it through this night after all. The damn fool is falling over drunk and still manages to make smithying look easy. Good enough, I say. I'll inform Bantigan the militia is ready to fight. We'll give those bastards a welcome they won't soon forget.
Okay, we're not only ready, Murdoch, we're going to win.
I hope you're right. We may just be village folk, but we're going to fight like there's no tomorrow.
Well, there might not be. Is there anything else I can do?
We could use some extra bodies. Having a veteran like Dwin in the militia would help a lot, but he flat out refuses.
Tell me about Dwin.
He's a trader, a dwarf, lives near the lake. Locked himself up in his home with some of his workers, he has. Says he doesn't need any of us. We could use somebody with his fighting experience, but he won't come out.
Okay.
I have a good feeling about tonight.
Let me try and find Dwyn. Hitting the wrong things, that's why. Oh my gosh. So much to do. First off, I didn't realize I could persuade the barkeep to give them free drinks. Let's do it.
Hey, what can I get you?
I hear you're charging the militia for ale.
Why shouldn't I? They may not have much coin, but I'm not giving it away for free.
Think of the goodwill you'll earn.
I never thought of that. Maybe I could try it for a bit. Right then, you men over there. Drinks are on the house. All militia drink for free.
Oh, you're a saint, Lloyd. Ha ha!
If them creatures don't kill me, I swear they'll bleed me dry. Something else I can get for you?
I should go.
Right then.
Maybe not the most sensible thing in the world, but there you go. Do what the quest says, nothing more, nothing less. Got the chantry quick. Hi guys, I'm just going to run straight across where you're training, sorry. Don't mind me. Don't mind me at all. Not 1 second of minding me. Okay. The revered mother. Anna.
What is it you need, child?
Sir Perth needs holy protection for the knights.
I have done all I can for them. I pray for them each night and seek the Maker's forgiveness for their sins before they face their deaths. What Sir Perth seeks is something that is not in my power to give.
You mean?
Sir Perth believes that I can protect them against these creatures, a shield only the Maker can provide, and that I withhold this power.
Well, can't you just tell him the Maker will watch over him? Morale is a powerful thing, you know.
You mean you want me to let them think the Maker protects them in a real sense? I will not lie to them like that.
But if they think it helps them...
I suppose their belief in the Maker's power could inspire them, but it just seems like trickery. Very well. If it keeps them alive, I will do what I must. I have a number of silver-cast holy symbols. Tell Sir Perth that he can have them, and that wearing them will confer the Maker's protection. Now please, let me tend to these poor folk. I must do what I can, and I suggest you do the same.
That's what I'm doing. Gosh. Give me a break. I don't even need to help your people. Like, I'm doing this out of the kindness of my heart. Get off my back. Alright, back up to Sir Perth, and then we're going to have to try and find this missing child. For one. Yo, hey Troy, how's it going? You're doing well. Hello, Sir Perth.
The Knights of Redcliffe are ready to fight at your disposal.
So you wanted holy protection?
Spoken to the revered mother? Has she offered anything?
Doing all right? You? Yeah, I'm doing great. Thanks, Troy. Just getting through some more Dragon Age.
If they are the same as the symbols worn by their priests, well, that would more than suffice.
I'm glad I could
I
help.
will send some men to collect the amulets. Please give my regards to Mother Hannah for seeing some sense at last.
Okay.
Ask me whatever you wish.
I hit the wrong button.
As you wish. As you wish, Grey Warden. Make a watch over you.
Thanks. Can I go this way? Can, but that's out of the zone, isn't it? Back. Oh.
believe how relieved I was to hear you're helping us.
This is where we came in. Okay. Okay. Right. Get Wynn to help the militia. Okay, and missing child.
Right.
Guess I can't actually go into the castle yet, which makes sense. Okay, cool.
Let's get started.
Back to the village. I assume this is the way to where the dwarf is. Not sure though. No wait, this is a different guy.
Yes, what can I do for you?
Probably
Very well.
Different guy altogether. Never mind. Should have known that. I think we went in there before, didn't we? Where's Dwin then? Yeah, let's run upstairs to the tavern. We can look at that.
Right.
Oh, we did look at that. I'm losing myself. Slowly losing myself. So if there's one building there that you can go into, there's another. And that's the same as. Okay, hold up.
So, are you going to continue staring at me as if I am covered in eels?
Eels would be something.
Prudery. How charming. I expected paranoia. This is much better. I prefer to be stared at lustfully, if at all.
Keep trying, then.
Oh? Then shall I demonstrate an act or two, and you may tell me hot or cold?
I'll save time. Cold.
You are a tease.
Wild. There's nothing here either. Okay. Where's this Dwin then? Oh, the house is over this way. How could I have been so silly? Oh no, you failed to pick the lock. It's now hopelessly jammed. Knock on the door. Break open the door.
Wonderful.
I tried everywhere.
Intruders. I hope you have a good reason for breaking and entering into my home.
I apologize. I don't mean any harm.
Apology accepted. The name's Dwin. Pleased to meet you. Now get out.
Murdoch says he needs you for the militia.
So what? You're recruiting for him? I'll tell you what I told Murdoch. I'm not risking my neck for this town.
The chances are better out there than in here.
Thanks. But I'll take my chances in here. Everyone else can run around in the open waiting to die.
Can't I change your mind?
Maybe. Let's hear what you've got.
I'll put in a good word for you with Ban Tegan or the Arl.
You might just be able to pull that off. Fine.
Yeah.
I'll throw in with the
Persuasion
militia.
was a very good
You
thing
better
to
be
take.
out there too when the sun goes down. I'm not fighting for a lost cause, you hear me?
Thanks. Sorry about the door again. He's quick to forgive. He literally turned around and was like, yeah, no worries. I just knocked his door. I just literally broke his door down. And he's like, yeah, no worries at all. Game logic. Down here. Honestly, didn't remember that you could go this far down. Once again. There, Calenad, no swimming. Okay. Let's go into the general store. Anything worth stealing in here? Oh, insufficient skill, brilliant.
This should be easy enough.
There's lamp oil in the barrel. Interesting. If I tell that to the militia, I'm assuming we'll use them as some kind of... Okay, let's go as well. When you approach the dresser, something moves inside. You hear a short, surprised intake of breath and then silence. Open the dresser.
Ah! What are you doing? Alright, I'll come out.
The kid was literally just in the house.
Please, don't hurt me. I'll go back to the Chantry if you want. I didn't mean any harm.
Your sister's looking for you, you know.
I just didn't want to be at the Chantry anymore. Everyone's scared, and I want to be brave.
Is this your house?
Yes. It was my mother's house. She's dead now. And Caitlin said we have to move away if we survive.
So what were you doing in there?
I can't tell you. It's a secret.
Yeah. Are you sure? Maybe I could help you.
Could. Alright, I guess. Father said I could have his sword when I grew up. It was Grandfather's. And Grandfather was a great dragon slayer. I thought, if I was brave like Grandfather, I could use his sword and kill the bad people who took Mother.
Where is this sword now?
In the chest. In Mother's room. Father gave me a key, but I'm not supposed to give it to anyone.
But I could use that sword to help the village.
I guess you're right. I should help defend the village, shouldn't I? Father would have if he were here. Oh, alright. Here's the key. I hope you use it to kill a lot of those bad people.
Yeah, me too.
I should go back to the Chantry. Good luck.
You're welcome. We got a sword out of it. Second floor.
This should be easy enough.
The green blade. Worth putting on a luster. Yeah. And then we can give that to Stan instead. But no, that's actually worse. Can I put that on as another potential weapon set? Yeah, it's silly, but stuff out my inventory, isn't it? Get all the shit out of my inventory that I can. Anything else in here to steal? I mean, no, I definitely just steal. Right. Let's talk to Murdoch.
I hear you got the tavern serving the militia free ale now. While I don't favor my men being drunk come sundown, I suppose it helps morale to have their minds taken off what's to come. You have my thanks.
Every night he's just been...
The
He's got
repairs
gear
are
on now.
underway surprisingly quickly, considering how drunk Owen is. We may just make it.
I'd like to talk about Dwyn.
Thanks for persuading him to come out here. He's going to be a great help. I just know it.
I want to discuss
There's
something
not
else.
much time before sundown. The men's spirits are high for now. Far better than I expected, to be honest. Dwyn's presence makes the men a bit more confident. It helps to know a veteran is on our side tonight. My men are getting free drinks at the tavern. I suppose it's better to drown your fears rather than go mad waiting for certain death. I'm tempted to have a few ales myself.
Look at him. Sorry,
Since
look
you
at him.
convinced Owen to start repairs, we're pretty well armed now.
This head thing's getting ridiculous.
That is a
I will
relief,
never...
let me
I'm
tell
always
you.
going to go like that. Look at him.
Overall, I'd say the militia's very ready to fight. Never thought I'd say that, but there you go. Is there anything else?
I'll be back. I need to check on something.
I have a good feeling about tonight.
Yeah, good for
I
you.
don't like being out here, Dwyn. The mayor's giving me the evil eye.
These humans don't know the hilt of a sword from the pointy end. This ought to be interesting.
Okay. Caitlin. Hello, Caitlin.
Evan said you were the one who found him. I can't possibly repay you.
You didn't look hard enough. He was in your house. Got the sword I found in your home.
Evan told me about Grandfather's sword. So you have it then? I suppose it won't go to waste, at least.
Perhaps I should pay you something for it?
I have no idea what it's worth, to be honest. And you found Bevan. I couldn't ask you for money.
Let me pay you something at least. Here's 50 silver. Yeah, that's okay.
The blade is worth far more. To cheat the helpless is hardly honorable.
Thank you, my lord. Use it well. Thank you again for Bevan. With my mother gone...
I wasn't going to give all my gold
I'm
away.
just
What
glad
do you
he's
mean?
safe. I can't thank you enough.
Just stay safe, both of
The
you.
Maker sent you. I just know it. Thank you again.
Sten disapproves. Look, okay, Sten. She's basically said she didn't want anything. What do you want me to fucking do? I was actually giving us... that was actually a favour. Rude ass. Okay. Do we have anything else for the quest? I keep doing this with my head again, I've just realised. A village under siege. I feel like there's find a use for the barrels of oil. You notice some barrels of oil in the general store. Perhaps someone could use them to defend Redcliffe. Right. Up to Sir Perth? That's his name, isn't it? I forgot it now.
Mother Hannah's amulets have greatly bolstered my men's confidence. You couldn't have armed us with any better than our faith in the Maker.
Have you considered using the oil in the village store?
No one told me of this. Oil, you say? How much exactly?
Enough to set many monsters aflame.
Assuming that would hurt them. Yes, I see what you have in mind. That might be effective, if used carefully. Yes, excellent idea. I'll send some men to collect the oil. We'll use it to slow these creatures down. Have you anything else to ask me in the meantime?
No.
As you wish, Grey Warden. Make a watch over you.
Okay, well, I think everyone's going to basically survive this attack now, to be honest. So, rather than getting into the fight, which could take a long while, considering we're already coming up on that, well, we're a little bit short of it, but it's been that way recently. Oh, just so we can get, no, okay. It's been that way recently. We're gonna save here. Saving game. Right, thank you guys so much for hanging out. This has been a big, this stream's definitely been like a lot of conversation, a lot of getting things set up. So next time we'll get into like the big nitty gritty of like Redcliffe. So yeah, if you're excited for more, and you're not subscribed already, subscribe. If you are, then you better keep an eye out. Hopefully we'll be back tomorrow to play more, so keep an eye out for that. In the meantime, guys, what day is it? Yeah, I was thinking, is it enjoy the rest of your week, or is it enjoy your next week? Enjoy the rest of your week. I'll see you later.